Well, good evening, everyone. Hope you had a good day and ready for a wee short session before you start to hopefully settle down to a quieter and maybe gentler end to your day. He said, hopefully for you. It's green tea, by the way. It's not sake or whiskey. Okay, so as I say, hope you're well. And regardless of how your day has been, whether it's good, so or bad, we're now in a space where we can just let that go. That's all in the past. Mindfulness is all about the importance of being in the present moment because that's the only time we're really alive. We spend an inordinate amount of time looking to the future, worrying, being concerned, planning, usually over planning, double checking to-do lists, that kind of thing. And while we need to plan for the future, we have a tendency to forget about actually living and enjoying the present moment. And that's the same with looking back in the past. Sometimes we look back in the past with rosy tinted glasses. Meanwhile, life's going on here and we forget about it. Sometimes we look back in the past with a sense of guilt or remorse for things we did wrong or for things that we didn't get round to doing with regret. And sometimes we look back in the past with a bitterness or a grudge or a kind of frustration or a hatred. And all that stuff weighs on us and gets in the way of us actually being alive in the moment. So alive in the moment, I can pick up this lovely wee Japanese cup mug. I can feel the warmth of the green tea from inside it. And there's a kind of rough, sandy effect on the glass. But inside it is glazed, so it's lovely and smooth. And the tea is good for me, and it tastes nice. And it was picked by people, who knows where, Sri Lanka, India, Bangladesh, maybe Japan, maybe China. And those people were part of the whole process of me getting to drink that, and that brings gratitude, brings a sense of connection. And it has been, I think, both lovely and ironic when we see the Thursday evening applaud the NHS. Well, the NHS have been saving people's lives, including sometimes their own, and sometimes people we love lives all through our life, and we don't get round to applauding them except for in a crisis. Mindfulness is kind of like that Thursday evening feel, that sense of wake up to what reality is actually like. There are thousands of people out there, people we don't know, organisations we've never even heard of, who are all working in a kind of network or mesh of connection to make our lives really special. So when you wake up in the morning, your head's in a pillow. Well, somebody had to make that pillow. Somebody had to drive it in a truckload of pillows to a shop. We've got a mattress, we've got a bed, we've got duvet cover over us. And we don't notice the connection that it was our fellow beings who helped make those things. And that's waking up first thing in the morning. That's before you're out of bed. Then you go and have a shower, and we don't think about how the water got there. We don't think about who made the boiler to warm up the water, and so on and so on and so on. Literally a thousand things that we can just, in passing, in the moment, notice and be grateful for. Collage of photographs behind me, they're all from my dad's side of the family, the Polish side. Grandmother died of starvation. My Aunt Danka weighed 3 stone 12 at 15. Dad had typhus, 2 bouts of dysentery, and malaria for 6 months, all in the same year. And we think we have a problem being locked in. Right beside the back of my head there, the bald person In the bottom, you're probably right or left, or who knows. Anyway, just down from my mum and dad in the middle, that's my grandfather. He was fleeing into hiding when the rest of the family were taken to a labour camp in the Soviet Union. That was in February 1940. He never saw them again because he died in the resistance of cancer in the middle of 1943, not knowing that his wife had already died of hunger, not knowing that his children had survived dying of hunger, not knowing that his children would live till their 90s. Mindfulness says, notice the reality of what you have and what you don't have and what you don't have to put up with. So right now, unless you're very unfortunate, you're sitting on a chair or a bed or a couch in a warm, safe home, having had, if you've lived in Scotland today, a lovely, cool April spring day. And we will have a bed to go to, and we will have a roof over our head. And all those things we worry about, none of those worries help, and none of those worries take away from the reality that you are a living being on a chair or a couch or a bed with a roof over your head and a bed to go to tonight. And there's a 99.9999999% chance you will wake up and have another day tomorrow. And mindfulness says, notice reality. Pick up the cup, feel the warmth of it, sip it. Sip it as if you've never tasted it before. And try and do everything that way as if you've never experienced it before, so that you glean all that is good in life and you drop all the junk that the mind creates. So let's do a wee quick session to try and help the mind become clearer and calmer that way so that we can do this better. Feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Small of the back in against the back of your chair. Back nice and upright as if it's just feeling slightly stretched but not uncomfortable. One hand on top of the other, thumbs gently touching, placed in your lap. Head dipped down a little and eyes just gently closed. Just allow your breathing to slow down to about half its normal pace, and if at any time that makes you woozy, just return to normal pace. Keep your attention just inside the nostrils. And try and imagine that you're noticing the in-breath for the first time ever. And maybe if you've never done this before, maybe you are noticing it for the first time ever. And the sensations in the nostrils are fresh and clear. And if you slow it down and savour it, you get beautiful sensations. And as you breathe out, just notice the quiet, peaceful nature of the out-breath. Again, as if you've never experienced this before, as if this is completely new to you. You've probably done something like between 2,000 and 7,000 breaths today. All done automatically by a body that keeps us alive without us having to try to help it in terms of breathing. All those poor people who have lost their lives through this terrible virus. They can't breathe in and feel clear and fresh like you can. They can't feel warm and peaceful with the out-breath as you can. And that brings two positive emotions. One is gratitude and appreciation, that you are alive. And the second, although sad, is positive, which is compassion and empathy and sympathy for those who have lost their lives and those who have lost people they love. And we can glean all of that from a breath. Breathing in, my mind is clear. Breathing out, my mind is at peace. And if you get distracted, it doesn't matter. Just notice the distraction. Let it fall away by taking your attention back to the breath. Breathing in, my mind is completely clear, vast and empty. No distractions, no worries, no concerns. Purely in the present moment, noticing the breath. Breathing out, my mind is at peace. It's at peace with myself. I'm at peace with the world I'm part of. I'm even at peace and acceptance with this virus, which didn't ask to be born, didn't ask to spread, didn't ask to kill others. Just part of nature. Comes, wreaks havoc, goes. And we should accept it. Work to protect ourselves, of course, to protect others, of course. But accept it. Don't get irritated or depressed because it's happened. That won't help. What will help will be a clear mind. What will help will be a peaceful mind. As if you've never noticed the breath before. Beautifully clear. How lovely and peaceful. And just think to yourself, may I be at peace for the rest of the evening, relaxed, in good humour, and at peace. May my mind be clear and sharp and alert. And if something happens that irritates me or annoys me or disappoints me, don't buy into it. Just notice it. Take your attention to the breath. Notice the breath as if you've never noticed it before. And that sense of clear freshness blows away all the junk that's created in the mind. And the irritation, the disappointment, the frustration, the annoyance, the anger just goes. And in its place, clear mind, which is a peaceful mind. And you think again, may I have a clear and peaceful mind for the rest of the evening. And may I have a lovely, clear, deep, refreshing sleep. And may everyone I know have the same. And may every day on the planet have the same. Clear, relaxed mind for the evening. And a good, refreshing sleep. Take your attention to the eyelids. Peaceful and at peace all the time. And it helps you become more peaceful by noticing them. And now, giving them a minute or two, just allow yourself to find your eyelids very softly, slowly start to open. And as they do, keep your eyes downward gazed, unfocused, and away from the glare of the screen as you open your eyes. Trust the eyes to return to focus in their own time. And as they do so, just enjoy the last few seconds or minute of quiet, peaceful practice. No rush. Okay, that's me out. Ready for bed almost. No, I'll survive another hour and a half or so. Okay, I hope you found that useful, helpful. If you're still coming out, don't rush it. You can just take your time. Just come out as and when you want. I'll be back on 8:15. No, I won't. Keep thinking that the wrong way around. I'll be back on 11:15 tomorrow morning, and then again, same time tomorrow evening, 8:15. Take care. Thank you. Thanks, Susie. Bye.